I'd like to welcome everyone to the special edition Monday night Comedy Factory Comedy Chat. I've got a dear friend of mine that I haven't seen in a while. Did comedy with her many times in the past. Comedian, singer, producer, Niki Luparelli. How you doing, Niki?
Hey, John, I wanted to give you a round of applause. Hey, I forgot how to do that. Um, so nice to see you virtually. It's been a long time.
You look great, Niki, and me, I look old.
You
You look
look
great.
good. You know what? I honestly, when did you get rid of the party in the back?
I used to have longer hair, right? Back in the
Yeah, but
day.
only in the back.
Yeah, I don't know. I was crazy. I had all different kind of hairstyles. I don't even remember. My memory's starting to go, Mickey, but I remember you. I remember you. So what have you been up to? What have you been doing?
Well, I started streaming just regular baloney on my Facebook page in like the spring, just out of boredom and loneliness. So I would just kind of set up my phone and people would talk to me, and we started, and then that developed into a cooking show. I started because I was running out of shit to talk about. I was like, well, I might as well cook. So I would start making stuff. And
I
then at
see.
the end, yeah, really, it really
Yeah,
did.
yeah.
And then I started singing at the end, and then that turned into a spinoff, and I have a couple of spinoffs. So now I have 3 nights a week that I stream. Um, Wednesday we have a news show. It's Boozy News. It's me, Zenobia Del Mar, and two of my best drag queen friends, Lady Sabrina and Poison Envy, and produced by one of my other drag queen friends, Candy Dish. And then
Nice.
on Fridays we have Happy Hour, which is my boozy baked cooking
Yes,
show.
I've seen it. Yeah, great.
And then on Sundays, it's just my lounge show. And it's like how I used to sing at Club Cafe every month in Boston. It's like a 2 to 3 hour. I take requests, if I know the song, if I have the song.
Yeah,
And that's what I've been doing. And then
yeah.
just kind of producing some bigger shows. We did David Booby virtually, which ended up having like 200 people buy tickets for online. It was really fun.
Wow,
We did
that's
Haunted
awesome.
Speakeasy online. Yeah, it's a whole new virtual world. It
So you're
really is.
doing. It sounds like you're doing like my kind of act. I work the audience, so I've only come up with the idea to have a talk show, see my friends on here, my comedian friends. You're doing. It sounds like you're doing really well with these virtual shows.
Well, some of them do better than others. I've just started trying to transition fully over to Twitch. If you're not familiar with Twitch, it's a streaming platform. It started out just gaming, video games, and people would watch other people play video games. It's really started to branch out. And now there's art, there's music, there's how-tos, there's cooking. They all have their place, and
Oh,
it's so different. It's kind of like a cross between Facebook and old AOL, because everyone's got these funny screen names and that's how you interact with them. It's in chat rooms.
yeah.
But I don't know, I think that's where it's going. I actually think you would do well on it because most of it is interacting with the audience, but it's by chat. So you have to be kind of constantly monitoring the chat and interacting with them, because if you're just doing your act, if you're just singing or you're just cooking and you're not interacting with people coming in, they leave. They want that live interaction. They don't want to watch a show. They don't want to put on Netflix.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
they average 4 million viewers a month.
Wow.
So Twitch, and it's been growing like the corona. So I see this kind of blowing up. There's even a comedy thing, and there's not enough on it. And when you put stuff on it, I mean, it does get views. So, but what I'm talking about is, before I was only trying to perform in town, and I really wasn't recording anything to put on the internet. I wasn't making albums. I wasn't doing that. I was just kind of, I don't know, I guess trying to sell tickets to the same 200-300 people over and over again. Like, what was I even doing? I can't believe it took me this long to try to go on the internet. Because now
Yeah,
I have
yeah.
people come in and they'll say, hey, Nikki, I'm in from Florida, or hey, I'm watching you from your Kentucky. Hey, I'm your biggest fan in Tennessee. And you're like, oh my gosh, I never would have, none of you would even know who I was if it
Yeah.
wasn't for this.
Wow, that's great. So we did many shows. It's been a while, but what are some of the places that I had you at
I remember
back
most
in
of
the
all,
day?
I want to say the Seekonk Ramada Inn.
Oh, you went there? Okay, yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I remember doing some gigs at the Seekonk Ramada. I guess because that name is so funny. And then I ended up using that because I was familiar with it as like a liaison point. Like, oh, if we're going to province, oh yeah, meet me at the Seekonk Ramada or something like that. Like we would.
So you used to perform there. We used to have big crowds there. That was
Yeah, that was really fun. That's where I met a lot of people that I still, like Colleen. I met Colleen when I was playing for you, and Eddie, the
yeah,
Galvins.
yeah, yeah,
Um, who else did I meet? Just Stacy. Back then it was Stacy and Eddie.
yeah. Stacy Kendall. Yeah, yeah.
Stacy Kendro, but that's how I met her back then. Um,
That,
so great.
that was a fun room. We used to get. I think
Alvin David. Oh my God, Big
yeah,
Al.
Big Al. The room held about 300 people. We used to get 250, 300 people in there. We used to. I mean, it was great over there.
It
I had
was
a lot of
great.
fun. That was my best room, probably. I think I had it for 10 or 15 years, at least 10 or 12 years, maybe. It was awesome. Yeah, we had a lot.
So do you know that I always do a John Perrotta impression?
Everybody does a John
Oh,
Prine
I
impression.
know
I don't know if
everybody
that's
does.
good or bad, but we
No,
had a
I
show
love
on
it.
here about a week or two ago, and every comedian said we're going to do a John Perrotta impersonation. They all started impersonating me, and they're all good. I get that this Italian
Gosh,
accent.
you
And
could
let me
have that
hear,
every show.
yeah.
Somebody should impersonate you. That could be your gimmick. I love it.
What is your John Perrotta impersonation? I gotta hear
Oh,
this.
hey, look at these guys. It's New Kids on the Block 10 years later. Oh,
Niki, that's crazy, man. I guess I get that distinctive voice, huh? We think
I love it. No, I love it. You're so memorable that that's why I feel like the internet's going to be good for you too, because there's no way you should just be John Perrotta, famous, New England famous. You should be world famous.
I don't think that's gonna happen,
Well, how
Niki.
about maybe regionally?
Yeah. I can't see. I've been doing it 29 years. I was doing well locally in New England, but when the pandemic
Dreams
hit,
don't have deadlines. Uh, Rodney Dangerfield, he did not make it until his 60s.
yeah, yeah. I was reading recently. It said it was on Facebook. Somebody put something and more or less said, "Don't ever give up. You're never too old. Don't ever give up on your dreams. Always, you never know what's gonna." And they put a whole list of people. I wish I could remember it all, but different
I
famous people
I
that
just
made
saw
it.
one last night. So Jessica Tandy, you remember Jessica Tandy,
Yeah,
the
the actress.
actress?
Yeah,
What do you remember her for?
Cocoon. I remember her for Cocoon. Wasn't she in
She
Cocoon?
did all her memorable roles started when she was in her 80s. Like she had been
Driving
in
Miss
some
Daisy.
Driving Miss Daisy, Cocoon, another one, a Short Circuit or something. She was in none of them until she was in her 80s.
Wow, she was good too. She was a great
It was
actress.
great.
Yeah, I know this pandemic threw a lot of people off. You seem to be adjusting, good, doing a lot of stuff on the internet, streaming and everything. But
Yeah, I'm quite the introvert, it really turns out. I've been actually really okay with being, I haven't gone anywhere. I shut down. So during the day, I own a poorly run laser tattoo removal clinic. And I say poorly run because I'm just lazy. So my schedule, people will be like, when are you open? And I'll be like, I got an opening at like 2 next Thursday. Like that's kind of how I did things.
Nikki,
I,
that's funny.
I didn't want to work that hard. I just
Yeah.
wanted to like work smart.
What's the
So
name
I
of the company? Nikki's Pot Time Laser Removal.
Oh no, I don't mix. We don't mix the pot with the laser. That's why I don't have my medical because I'm like, no, I don't smoke all the time, just most of the time, but not like going to work the laser. Yeah, but I own the laser company. I got the laser. I've been doing that for like 5 years, but I only that was only ever supposed to be a side gig for me performing. That's all it was just a side hustle. But the problem is people expect you to be like fucking 1-800 dentists. They expect like, oh, I got a tattoo. Can I come in like now? And it's like, no, I have an appointment. You missed that one in 3 weeks on a Monday at 1. Can you?
How long have you been doing that, Nikki?
5 years.
Wow. So you do it when you want to do it.
I have surprisingly good reviews. I think just because I'm very smiley. I think it's all. I don't think it has anything to do with my skill as a removal operator. By the way, I'm not going to mention what name that company is right now. No, I'm actually pretty good. I actually am pretty good at removing tattoos, believe it or not. Yeah. It's just like sewing or cutting. It's like a sewing machine.
I was in the Navy, and I remember being drunk one night. I was like 21. I was overseas in Europe somewhere, and I I went into a tattoo place and it was huge. And there was tattoos, all kind of tattoos you want, all over. I looked through everything and I said, there's not one tattoo here I can think of putting on me for the rest of my life.
For
I
the
couldn't.
rest of your life.
And then
Right.
I never got a tattoo after that.
I never got a tattoo either because I always thought it was just, I don't think I'm going to want anything for the rest of my life. And I think about that because when I was, 18, 19, thinking about getting a tattoo, I was very into like gothic fashion. I mean, I'm not that much different now. I guess I just have pink hair, but I was very into like goth stuff. So like I would have gotten stuff that maybe didn't go with me now. I did for years. I made money. I don't know if you remember, as a Marilyn impersonator.
Yeah.
And that was a good gig for me. That used to be a very lucrative gig for me until I started getting undercut on Gig Masters. You know what I mean? I'd be charging like $300 to show up to sing a happy birthday, and some girl with a Party City wig would be like, "I'll do it for 50," and you're like, "Ah."
That's terrible.
So I was just like, it's not worth it. I'm not putting on the Marilyn costume and getting groped by 80-year-olds for $50. You can keep that gig. I will stay home.
Not worth it. Gig Salad, Gig Masters, all that stuff.
I don't do it anymore. I don't even, I rarely got, I got a few good gigs. I'm not going to say I didn't, but it wasn't enough because they kept raising the price. I wasn't getting enough gigs to be like, oh yeah, this is worth $50 a month. It's not. It wasn't for me because I was not for what I wanted to make.
I had better luck on Gig Salad until the pandemic hit, but I used to get enough stuff to keep it. I used to get a lot of bookings and book other comedians if I couldn't do it.
Yeah, I wish I had thought to do that because I didn't start booking comedy shows before the pandemic. My one show that was doing really well was Shitface Stand Up. And that show we were doing at the Bull Mansion, and then we were doing it at the Hibernian Club. And that show was selling out 200 something seats every time. And we were turning people away. And the whole thing, I'd get comedians and we blow into a breathalyzer and they had to be over 0.08. I had them sign a very long waiver. I had them have a designated driver who signed a waiver. Like we were fucking on top of that stuff because I don't want anyone to, just sue me. But that show was the one. And it's like, why didn't I think to put any...
Was that still going before the pandemic hit?
Oh yeah, that was going like crazy before the pandemic hit. That was like my show, and it was great because I got to pay all the comics. Even like they'd come on and do 5 minutes, and you give them a little money. They're so fucking happy, Like
yeah. Now, are you going to go back to that when the pandemic, when things get better? Or?
I hope so. I hope when things are better. It's just hard to imagine a time where you're going to go and pack people in like that. Like it seems so foreign. Like I don't want to touch anybody. And those rooms, you'd be like, ooh, and everyone's getting so drunk. Like, because when you have a show, like a drunk comedy show, the whole audience is getting smashed. Like the bar was making so much money. I'm still working on trying to trademark that so I can.
Yeah. It's too bad. Like we don't know when, I'm thinking last year, I kind of knew around May, I said, this year's finished. We're not going to have any comedy. And I was pretty much right. And then this year now I'm thinking maybe some stuff in the fall, but it's not really going to come. I don't think it's really going to come back maybe till next year. Like good. You know what I mean? Like maybe, even then, who knows? You know what I mean? We don't know. Like I got a lot of, the thing that drives me crazy, Niki, is I got into the booking and I got good at it. And I would sit down like October, November, December. I'd plot out my next year and I'd go to each room I booked and I'd say, these are the 6 dates I want. These are the 4 dates I want. I get all the dates. So by the end of the year, I had a bunch of dates already locked in for the next year. So, and then we started teaching a comedy class, Colleen Galvin and myself and Rock and Joe Hebert. And that was going, we did a few of them and that went great. So I had everything lined up for 2020, the comedy class, everything was booked, the graduation show, all my other rooms. And then everything went boom overnight in March, my last show, March 15th, and then that was it. So I'm hoping by
that was my last show too. That was
March
when
15th?
Might have been the 14th, because that was when I said, you know what? And I stopped or shut down my office. That's when I've been shut down since then. It's too much. Yeah, I was producing a lot. That's where I really started to go. Just like you found like booking and producing. That's what I found for me too. Like, but also I wasn't getting booked for the kind of shows that I wanted to do. So I was like, well, let me make them, you know, that because I wasn't. And that's why the Steamy Bohemians always ended up hosting our own shows because people didn't know what to do with us.
The Steamy Bohemians were great. I remember when you started with that, and I saw some on YouTube today. I was watching some of your different videos. I saw Steamy Bohemians.
Aw.
I saw you sang Melanie, a brand new key. I saw Melanie in concert. I won tickets when I was like 14 years old at the Providence Performing Arts Center. Melanie came in concert, and everybody in the crowd was lighting, lighters or whatever. And
Play
she
brand
sang
new
that.
key again.
She
Play
sang
the
brand new
roller
key.
song.
I love that song, Nikki. I love it. I Google it every once in a while. I watch it on YouTube. I like that song. I don't know why, but all your songs. Really, you got a great voice.
Oh, thank you so much. That was the good thing. Not that was good things with the pandemic. The pandemic made me focus on doing something with my voice. So I started taking, some online voice lessons, and we recorded 2 albums virtually. I've never even recorded an album. And we
Great.
recorded, I did an album of like 20 David Bowie songs, and we did a Christmas album, and now I'm working on a Stevie. And is anybody going to buy it? Probably not. I don't give a shit. I'm just happy to have it done,
Yeah,
to
yeah.
have recorded something, because all I ever do is live shows. I never record them, never do anything with them. They're gone with the wind.
Now I saw you. The last time I saw you was you were with Niki Luparelli and the Gold Diggers.
Yeah.
Is that band still going when this comes back?
Well, it's always been a revolving door of musicians, because I get them when they're young and hungry, and then they end up like getting married and having kids and moving on. So I have the bass player I have right now. He's been in it for like, I want to say 6 years. I'm just working with a new piano. Like, it's just always a revolving cast.
That was great. When I saw you at the Revolution in Providence, I saw you
The
going to be there.
Revolution.
Yeah, I came down and saw you sing a few songs. You were awesome. Yeah, you got a great voice.
Thank you so much. Yeah, that was such a great place, the Cuban Revolution. It had such a wonderful theme, and from head to toe, it was living that theme. I just think it maybe was a victim of location. I don't know. It was so cool.
And a couple of times you were at Twin River. You were going to be playing, and I wanted to
played
get over
Twin
there.
River a significant amount over the years. I'd been playing Twin River for almost 10 years.
Yeah, I wanted to get over there and see you. And the last time I was hoping to see you, I signed up for you. I came down to Bull Mansion.
Oh, that's right.
No, I don't know if you want to get sick that night or something.
I think that was the night I ended up being sick.
You were sick, yeah.
Because I wanted to see you. I was so upset because I was like, oh, John's going to be there. Like, I'm so sad I can't be there.
I only did a few minutes, whatever it was. I had a great set. I had a ball in that room. That was fun.
The Bull Mansion was such a great room. And I had just taken over running that with my partner, Candy Dish, my drag queen friend that produces my online shows. We had just taken over running that. I want to say last summer we started taking over running that. We didn't know there was like a lien on it, on the liquor license. And so all of a sudden we lost the liquor license, and then there was nothing we could do about it. They wanted like $40,000 that nobody had. Like we were like, we just got here. What do you mean? Like, what? So, but I had been booking it and doing the comedy shows there for about a year. When did I start doing the open mic at Bull Mansion? Like 2016 was when I had done that. And I finally worked my way up that they gave me the keys. They were like, here you go. You're running Bull Mansion now. And then boom, the fucking liquor license. And we couldn't get it back. And it was devastating because, I've been running a show called Haunted Speakeasy for 4 years. That's my money show. That's the show. That is, people love Halloween. That was like my year. Like, I don't know, my world, for me, I made all my money between Halloween and New Year's Day. That was it. That was my whole year, was all that. And then the rest.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm hoping the Bull will come back to me, is where I was going with that, because I always felt very attached to that building, because I used to play there 10 years before when it had different owners, and I was in love with the building, and then it closed for 8 years.
That's awesome that you got there. It was a great room. I mean, I really enjoyed myself there. I said I got to get back there and see Nikki something, but I just didn't connect. But we've known each other for quite a while. What other rooms did you do for me? Do you remember? Seacon, come on.
I don't know if you did this room. We would do No, that's the one that will age me. I'm not gonna tell that room. I was thinking like, did I meet you though doing like Charlie Halls or something? Or
Oh, Charlie
Cat?
Hall when he had or Catch a Rising Star. Yeah, I can't remember where we met. I just remember having you at the C Compromat Inn, and
There was like Warwick. I feel like there was a cellos at some point.
yeah, I did shows at Cellos and Warwick, dinner comedy shows. I probably had you in one of them. And I remember when you started a while back, and you were sitting at the end of the bar, and we were in Pawtucket, and I had a little gig going on. They had a room. I don't know if it was a party or a show.
Oh, okay. I think I remember this.
Yeah, I was talking to you at the end of the bar, and then when we did, you did a set and everything. That was going back, but yeah, I remember when you started. You've done really well. I think.
My act got really weird. So it did. I don't know what happened. So I started, running burlesque shows and variety shows. And then I did the Comedy Studio Comic in Residence, and I opened for magicians one day a week. And I started doing stupid magic. They started giving me stuff. So like they started giving me shit. I just pull it out of my bra and they'd all think that was hysterical. So they just added it into my act. Just the dumbest shit. I would a hula hoop now. Like, what am I even doing? I'm like Carrot Top. But I
That's
don't care.
crazy.
Like
Yeah.
I just want the laugh. I just want the laugh. I don't care if it's stupid. Like I think stupid comedy, one of the funniest things I've seen recently on a Zoom show. I was doing this cabaret show last week, all different piano bar singers, and it was through Studio 54 in New York. And this woman got on, Leslie, and she starts singing These Boots Were Made for Walking. And then all of a sudden she pulls out a fucking trombone and she's playing the trombone. And just when I thought it wasn't gonna get any more bonkers, her friend popped up with two boots on her feet and starts walking the boots. And I was like, this is the dumbest thing I've ever seen. I love it. I love it so much. So that's where I'm going with comedy is just I don't just stupid. Like I have a puppet. Sometimes I bring out like this is my virtual shows. These are some of the prompts that this is just that I've started using my virtual show. I've got this puppet. I don't do a puppet, but I have her sometimes. Sometimes you just never know. When don't we look exactly alike? Sandy, Sandy, Sandy. So that's Sandy. So stupid. I have this Tony Danza head on a stick. I have this from a show. Somebody made this and I took it home like years ago. I don't remember what it was for, but sometimes you just want to be like, and it's just like Tony Danza.
That's crazy.
And then I found this on the street. I washed it before the pandemic. I was like, who would leave a perfectly good flamingo head on the street like that? So
Jesus, Niki.
that's the kind of stupid shit that I do now.
When I started, I was a prop comic, believe it or not. I used to have them go on stage with a bag. And I cleaned out my cellar recently, got rid of a lot of stuff, and I found some old VCR tapes, and I had some tapes from Periwinkle's Comedy Club in
That
91.
sounds familiar. Oh, no.
91, 92. They closed around 92. But I found some tapes, and I got me going up there with a bag of props. I had a lot of hair then. A bag of props. I had a doll. I did something with that. I had a horn in my underwear. I was doing a bit on Bill Clinton.
You had a horn in your underwear?
I would do this bit, and then I'd set it up, and then I'd put the mic down and the horn would go off, and everybody would laugh. So, and then I stopped it after Bill Clinton and Monica Lewinsky.
That kills. Keep the ball horn.
So I just said, hey, I got to stop that now. But then I started it back up before the pandemic, and it was working. It was working. Nobody expected me to have a horn in my underwear, and all of a sudden
I was gonna say you should bring that back. So I'm glad that you did.
I still got the horn. Crazy, Niki. I've always.
Do you remember any other prompts that you had?
Oh, geez, there was a banker here in Rhode Island that took off. He stole like $30 million. His name was Joe Malacone. So I got a Ken doll from Bobby, and I painted the hair dark and a mustache, and I used to go up I called him the Joe Malacone doll. Everybody in Rhode Island knew because he was the guy that took off and he embezzled like, I don't know, millions of dollars. So I had this doll. I would do that. And then I had a plane. I forget the bit I did with that. I throw the plane off the wall. I had all kind of wacky. We had an attorney general, Arlene Violet, and she had glasses. I would put on. I said, I'm gonna do impersonation for her. I would put the glasses on and this wig and impersonate Arlene Violet, our attorney general. It was just nutty. I did all wacky, all prop stuff. And then one day I put all the props down, and I found work in the crowd was better for me, So I got away from the props pretty much.
When did you start? I've always wanted to do more crowd work. When did you start working the crowd?
Well, early on.
I'm interviewing you now. That's what's happening.
Well, early on, I did a little bit of crowd work, and I saw the bigger laughs. And then I would do my material, and it would die down. And then when I worked the crowd, it would go back up, the energy. So I said, I got to figure out how to do this more. You know what I mean? So I wound up eventually being able to go up, and I really got good at it with bachelor parties. I did a lot of bachelor parties in Rhode Island. There was a market for it. That's not so much now anymore, but we used to do a lot of bachelor parties, and I'd go with another comedian. I could do a half hour, 40 minutes, just crowd work, and by doing a bachelor party. So that got me going pretty good with the crowd work. And then I just continued into the clubs, and it worked for me, I mean, a few times people got mad at me, but for the most part, I made out pretty good. Yeah, they get over it, But,
oh, I missed it. I can't wait. Live show. I think about that. Do you have do you have nightmares? I have pandemic nightmares.
I can't. There were mornings I'd wake up and I'd be, is this really happening? Is this pandemic really happening? And I'd have to think about, this really happened? I still can't. For a while, I couldn't believe it because like you were busy, we were busy, we were doing what we loved.
We were doing what we loved.
Yeah,
it was
singing,
the first year
comedy.
that was going good. I swear, it was the first year I was starting to make money. It was the first year, and then it was like, no.
Yeah, everything was going well for a lot of people, and I thought this was going to be like a flu or something. I didn't really think. I thought it would go a few months, and then we'd be all right. I never envisioned,
No, because nothing's ever been like this, not since like polio.
Yeah. The Spanish pandemic, the Spanish flu, they called it.
Yeah, the Spanish flu.
1918, when I think they said millions of people died.
Yeah, we lost 675,000 just in America alone, in the United States. And I think we're gonna hit that again. I don't really have a question about that. It's very sad. Oh, I just got a notification that Mike Cronin likes the photo that I'm tagged in for this filming right now. That was nice.
Right? You remember? Nice, Mike?
Yeah, gosh, we know everybody, right? I was trying to think of some other people I met through you. Ace Aceto, I met through you. Gosh, so many. Yeah,
there were so many people, comics. I missed the camaraderie of getting together, all the comics.
Yeah,
and just,
I do.
Shooting the breeze and having fun.
That was the best part.
Doing our sets, and back then I used to be drinking pretty good and partying. It was always a good time. We always had fun, Yeah, great times. Great. And Stitches Comedy Club. Did you work there?
Stitches. Why does that sound so familiar? Was that the one in the mall?
Providence Place Mall.
That's the place I was thinking of. Maybe not Catch. I was thinking of oh no, was Catch in the Twin River Casino?
Twin River, yeah.
Yeah, okay. But yeah, Stitches. I remember, that was the Lady Booker's name.
Dana.
Yeah. Oh, I was so happy. I when she gave me my first hosting gig on the weekend, I remember being so excited about that. And that was the first time that I did some crowd work because I was fucking bombing, it was all I just was, and then I was just like, hey. So I appreciate that.
Should have went up there and started talking like me. That's all. Female John Perrotta.
I should. I'm gonna give it a try sometime.
I used to run the open mic there every Wednesday. And,
that's right, and I definitely went there for that.
Yeah, we used to have a lot of laughs, and then that place was great because if they featured me, I'd be there Wednesday for the open mic. Then Thursday I'd do a show, 2 on Friday, 2 on Saturday, and 1 Sunday. So I'd be doing all these shows in 5 days. I'd be it was crazy.
It was a nice space too, if I remember. The stage and then the bar, and was there neon? I remember just being nice. It was brand new at the time.
Unfortunately, after a couple of years, they went down. than me. So many clubs through the years. I mean, you know, when I started, I closed places, Nikki. When I started, I did Catch a Rising Star in Cambridge. Then they closed. Yeah, I did Periwinkle's Comedy Club in Providence. I was just getting in the door to host on the weekends. They closed. I had a guest spot coming up at a place called the Brass Rail. Frank Santos used to run it, the hypnotist. It was in Seacon. And I was before my guest set, they called me up, closed. Now there was the Stitches in Boston I did. They closed. I was like, what am I doing here? Everything I do, they close. It was crazy, Nikki. It was crazy. So that's why I started doing my own stuff, you know, came up with the idea. Hey, my friend said, let's book a show. I thought he was nuts. You know, I've done some shows with Mike Cronin too, you know.
It's smart what you do because your show is not tied to any one location. You're it's still the Comedy Factory.
Yeah.
You're the Comedy Factory, and it can be anywhere. And it was great branding then. It's great branding now. You should start a Twitch. John, I got an idea for you. You can do what you want with it. Get a friend to help you with this. You're going to need a tech friend. I think you should start a station on Twitch called the Comedy Factory, and maybe, I don't know, maybe you could air like old tapes of people. That would be interesting, or new stuff. But I feel one of the most popular channels on food and drink is, I don't know how they're doing it. They just play old cooking shows. Like it looks like it was taped off the TV, you know, like the Iron Chef from like the 60s or something. It's amazing. But I hate to keep pushing it. I think, like you were saying, I don't think it's going back to normal anytime soon. So we all have to swim or die. And I think that's the kind of next move. And our job is to see a hole and fill it.
Yeah. I'll have to talk to you. I'll talk to you again
soon.
Talk
off away. Yeah.
And I want to find out more about Twitch, because I don't know much about how to get going with it, but I just like to find out a little more, you know.
Yeah, I don't get paid from them yet. Like, I don't work for them, but I see a hole. And I feel like my career, I've been on the cusp of so many things. And then I like the Steamy Bohemians, we kind of, you know, stopped working as hard, you know, we kind of pulled back a little bit. Lainey kind of had another career going on. And then next thing you know, Garfunkel and Oates are literal exactly us's, and they're famous as hell. You know, I've been doing vintage covers of 80s songs for 10 years. I didn't put it on the internet. That's my bad. I'm not saying anybody stole our acts. I'm saying that we didn't put it on the internet like enough, you know, and so somebody else came up with it and got famous with it. Do you know what I mean? Postmodern Jukebox got very famous, and I was like, fuck, I've been doing that for 10 years, like the vintage look and the music. I go, but I didn't put it on the internet. Like, I just didn't. So now I feel Twitch is that thing, and we should get on it now.
Yeah. You think it's the thing, huh? The up and coming thing?
I do.
Yeah. I'm definitely gonna check into it. Take your advice.
It's like GameStop stonk.
Yeah, we should have bought stock in that a couple of weeks back, huh? That's crazy. My son likes Bitcoin.
It's funny you saying that. I wish I had bought more Bitcoin. Excuse me a second. I wish I had bought more Bitcoin. I had bought Bitcoin a little bit a few years ago because my dermatologist wouldn't give me my face prescription. So I bought it from fucking Mexico, and I had to use Bitcoin to get Retin-A from a pharmacist in Mexico. So I just bought a little bit. And then I was like, well, I just bought like a couple $100 worth. I was like, let me just get a little bit more just to have it, and I'll just sit on it. It tanked a couple of years ago. It tanked so low that it was like, oh, I wish I'd sold this sooner. And now, right now, it's so high. It's like, it's tripled or quadrupled in value since I bought it. And I'm like, fuck, like, why did I buy 4? Like, you know, like buying 5 Amazon stocks back in 2000. Like, they were so cheap. Why didn't you just buy like 1,000 of them?
Whoever thought Amazon was gonna be what it is today? It's just unbelievable. You know?
Well, no, they're a monopoly. Like, I don't even feel, I don't want to buy from Amazon. Every time I try to buy something not from Amazon and not from like a big box, I don't get it. Like, unless, like it doesn't ever come. Like I'm fighting with PayPal. Like I don't know who they are. It didn't come.
I never, I always thought everybody's creating Amazon because my daughter, something would come, send it back. I said, I like to go in the store, you know, but then like I was having trouble finding a certain size or certain size shoe. So the last couple of weeks, I signed up for Amazon Prime or whatever it is, and I ordered about 4 things, and they came like the next day, and I'm like,
It
all of a
does.
sudden, I'm saying, you know what, this is easier than going in trying on. I bought a couple of pairs
Well,
of
that's the
jeans.
problem. Yeah,
Yeah,
because they
I
have a
put
they
my
have a
size down.
monopoly.
They came the next day, and I'm like, I like this. I'm like, I gotta watch out. I'll get
I
addicted to
do.
this.
They just need to pay. If they could just pay everybody a little bit more, I don't know, man. I don't want to get all political. If you want that, go on my communist Twitter page, and you can hear all sorts of that kind of talk from me.
You got some stuff on there. Oh yeah, yeah. We if we got into politics, that'd be cool. We
Yeah, we're
don't
not
do
going to get into politics, but I think we can all agree, like, fuck that guy.
that. Yeah, yeah, Nikki. Yeah, I don't. I never get into it, but I did with a
No,
friend who
I
had.
just don't know. I don't understand how you have that much money and you don't see walking around your own neighborhood like a homeless guy and go, with what's in my pocket right now, I could fix that. Like with the change from lunch, I could fix that situation. And it is not. I don't understand that. Like you could solve homelessness in this country for a lot less.
Yeah,
I don't
yeah.
know. Or
Well,
just adopt all the dogs. Imagine owning the biggest dog ranch of all time.
my daughter got the cutest Australian Shepherd. So adorable, right? And I go. She works from home with her husband. I go over there once a week. I'll hang with him for 3 or 4 hours, and she'll come here sometime once in a while on the weekend. I love this dog, so I thought of getting a dog, and I actually called around and internet, and I'm up in the air about doing it, but you can't get a dog. Like all the shelters, dogs are gone.
You should foster.
You
Consider
know,
fostering. Look at fostering as a rent to own situation. If you find the one that you want, that's perfect, but you can get one right away. It's easier to get started. You kind of feel if it's right for you, which dog, and you're really helping out a dog. I fostered about 11 dogs over the years. And yeah, it's
really.
hard when you give them up. Yeah, of course it is. But you just, if but we kept some too, so something to look into. It really helps them out because if it's one that doesn't work out for you and you're like, this isn't quite the dog I want. Well, guess what? He's going somewhere else. You don't even have to worry about it. Like he's getting another home.
Yeah, I've had a few. I always had beagles, and then I
Oh
had
my God.
I
Okay.
love
Well, I'm
beagles.
surprised because I'm going to keep you on my list. I'm on all the rescue lists. So I know there's beagle rehoming constantly because of the why did I do the needle move? Because of the testing they do on the beagles, the Beagle
Yeah,
Freedom Project. So
yeah,
we fostered a couple beagles. I love them. What a smart dog.
I love them. I had one beagle. He was crazy. I used to put him in the kitchen, and he would go around and start licking the floor. And I got a video. I got some old video, family videos, and I made them into DVDs. And the dog is literally going around licking the entire kitchen floor. So I nicknamed him the janitor. That's what I used to call him, the janitor. He'd go on. I couldn't get him to stop licking the
Luigi.
floor. It was crazy, Nicky. And then one day I come home at lunch and I look over in the corner. He was all right. I look over in the corner and his eyes are rolling up in his head and he's all freaking out. And I'm like, this dog's having. I called my boss at the prison when I was working. They said my dog's having a heart attack. I got to get him to the vet. I get him in the car. I run over to the vet, bring him in, and he looks. All of a sudden, he's all right. And it turns out he was epileptic. I had an epileptic beagle, so I had to start giving him medicine for that. And after that, I had one kid, and then we had a second kid. He started biting and stuff. He started going kind of, yeah. So I had to give him away. I didn't want him, believe me, because I love that dog so much. I can see how people get attached to pets. I literally cried when I had
Oh
to give
yeah.
that dog away. I did not want to give him away, but it was just too hard with the kids the way he was. You know what I mean? Because of the epilepsy. I never heard of an epileptic beagle, but I had one. You know.
one of the dogs I fostered ended up having like seizures.
Yeah, it's pretty
later on.
freaky with
Yeah,
it
it's
because
pretty freaky.
yeah, when they have him, because he had a few after that, and all of a sudden you'd be like, oh my god, crazy Nikki,
Crazy.
crazy. But
Oh,
I want to hear you sing again. Like I catch you on
I want
Facebook.
that too.
I remember talking to you about having you open up singing before a show sometime. I always wanted to do that. I still
Oh
want to do it.
yeah, we could
So
still do that once there's.
yeah,
I
when
can't
this gets
wait.
better, I would love to have you because I love your acting, singing. You do awesome. I'd love to have you open. Then later on in the show, do a comedy set. We could have a
I would
great.
love that.
Yeah, that would be awesome, Nikki. Yeah, you
You
know.
know, hear me out. I think. Well, does the place close early? Because normally you would have like my band, and then everybody would like dance and party and rock out. Or
Oh
you
yeah, you
think
could have the band after. In other words.
after the comedy, and then everybody, look at us planning this mythical party that we're gonna throw. That someday we're gonna have. Yeah, I think the comedy early where people are focused and they're not too shit faced, and then we're gonna get them really sloppy. And
Yeah,
I want 10%
that's
of the
probably
bar.
better. I've had shows where I've had a singer go on and then the show, and I've had shows where I had a band like somebody singing after. That would go really well. You and your band at the end of the show, we do like an hour and a half show, and then you and your band go on. That would be awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that would be a really fun show.
Yeah, we'll
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 have to
figure
make
that.
that
It's
happen.
we gotta make that happen, Nikki. We gotta
But
make
I'll
that
tell you
happen.
what, are you going to feel comfortable going to a buffet? Because I don't think I'm ever going to be comfortable going to a buffet again. And that's like every show. I remember when I was doing the Sopranos dinner theater show with Frank Santarelli and Colleen and Armin, who ended up being a famous actor after that. And it
Yeah.
was all buffet Italian food. Like I don't know. I don't
Yeah.
see myself going to a buffet.
See, the problem when I got started getting known for dinner comedy shows. I started putting together, I called them all you can eat, all you can laugh dinner comedy shows. It was catchy, and people would go have
Yeah.
a drink, and they'd have a all you can eat
They love
buffet,
that.
the show, and that's
It's
what I really
brilliant
was.
marketing.
Yeah,
It really is.
it went really well for me, and now I don't know what's going to happen because nobody's going to want to go up to the buffet. So they're even have to have sit down meals, or when it comes back, when things are better,
It
I
could
don't
be
know.
like for seconds, it could be like what they would do at like fancy dinners, and we could have a couple waiters going around with a bowl of spaghetti and just kind of
They're gonna have to be served, Nikki. How else are you gonna do? You're not gonna go up and grab everything. They're gonna have
it
to
could
serve you.
you could do it like Olive Garden, just have food runners doing the serving. The all you can eat pasta, they just fucking grab it, take the plate away, bring you a new plate, like boom, boom, boom.
Yeah.
You can do
Well,
it.
well,
It's
it'll
great
work.
marketing. You shouldn't give it up. The all you can eat, all you can laugh. Like if that was local, I'd be like, "Come on, ma, we're going. I'm taking the family."
Yeah. Well, I'm definitely gonna. I hope to go back to that, and I really want to. Like I said, I would love to get you. It could be
I'd love
something
to.
a regular thing where we could have the band come in after, and you. I really like that.
I'll
I
just
like
come
that.
to a stand-up set too. I'm adorable. They'll love it.
You've always been, Nick. You've always plug your shows again. Plug your shows again. What are you doing
What I
on
really
Facebook?
want is for if you're watching and you're interested, I would like you to go onto Twitch, and I would like you to start embracing the future on Twitch. And I'm there. My name right now is Spooky Loopy. That's what I'm going by. I told you it's like AOL chat rooms. I didn't want to just go by my name, and I was like, my name's only gotten me so far. Let's try something fucking different. It's reminiscent of my name. Or hit me up on Facebook, facebook.com/Niki Luparelli music. See, it's not as catchy, right? Spooky Loopy. Like you're gonna remember that. Fucking Niki Luparelli music. Anyways, that's where you can find me. And I'll let you know if you can have my commie Twitter.
Nikki, I think you've had a fantastic career. I mean, you played Twin River, which is big, and with your band.
I played Twin River so long. My band was like, it's smoky. We don't want to do. I don't know. That was my band this past year. I was like, are you kidding? I've been playing it for 10 fucking years. You don't. It's smoky. It's babies. In my day, you had smoke on stage.
I know, right? I used to do. Everybody was smoking back in the day in the comedy clubs. If nobody gets secondhand smoke, I mean, I worked in a prison, Nikki, They all used to chain smoke in a big
Oh yeah.
dormitory.
There's
60
nothing else
inmates,
to
we chain
do.
smoking. My mother and father, when I was around them, they were chain smoking. I'd go to work at the time. The correctional officer could smoke everywhere I went, restaurants, everybody was smoking. So I
Can't
mean,
get away from it.
yeah, I'm lucky. Nothing ever happened with that, you know. But God rest my mother, but she passed away of lung cancer, 2003, and it was right about this time of year, right about I think it was the end of January, early February. Yeah, it was the cigarettes. You know,
Oh,
I
I'm
tried to
so
get it equipped, but
sorry.
you know how it is. People do it. I've learned
People are
people
gonna
do
do
what
what
they
they're gonna
want.
do.
Can't tell anybody what to do. You know what I mean? And they do their own thing, and I don't tell anybody what to do. You know, everybody's got to make their own decision for their life. You know, unfortunately, I tried to tell my mother, but her and my father, like 4 packs a day, Nikki. That's crazy, crazy. But hey, you look great, Nikki. You know, I love hanging out with you. We got to do this again sometime. And
Yeah, that'd be great.
yeah, and all your things you're doing on Facebook and Twitch and everything else. I gotta learn about that.
We're gonna talk.
Yeah, hang on a minute when I pause this.
All right.
I want to thank Niki Luparelli for coming on, a great old friend, great young friend, with a great
Stick
young
with the
friend.
lie.
But we go way back, and I think you've had a great career. I was excited when I went into the Revolution, see you playing. I thought you were awesome. So
Uh,
I think you got a lot of talent, and you just keep doing what you're doing, and you're making people happy. I mean, sometimes I catch you the boozy kitchen or whatever. I see you drinking and doing stuff. I'll watch some of it, and I enjoy it. You really you got a good personality, and it shows out. You know what I mean? Really does.
oh,
But
thanks, John.
yeah, you're awesome, Nikki. But thanks for coming on, Nikki.
Lots of love to you. So nice to see you.
All right, great seeing you, Nikki. Thanks.